stage door.
5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
On today's show, I don't have a guest. I wanted to talk about something important. I think it's the funding for arts in our schools. I know it's a heated topic among a lot of people who are on both sides of the fence. I grew up in sports, playing baseball, basketball throughout my childhood. So I wasn't in arts myself. However, as I got older, my children had a great interest in the theater and dancing, music, singing, which really kind of started my passion for arts and seeing what's happening in schools where that's typically the first thing to get cut is art education funding. This concerns me because I truly believe that the arts promote confidence, better grades, better testing, allows the child to use their imagination, allows them to think more broadly. And I think that it's an important piece of our education in schools to have the arts, regardless of if it's music, band, drama, vocal lessons, anything of that nature. I think it's really important to keep this in the schools and to keep it funded. If you think about everything that we do, we watch television, we watch movies, we go to the theater, we go to concerts, turn on the radio, all of that's art. What entertains us is really the first thing that's getting cut in our schools, and our children are the future of what we're watching on TV and what we're seeing in the theaters and on the radio, and that's all art. If you think of some of your favorite emotions in your life, are usually from a song, maybe a line from a song or an entire song, maybe a line from a movie that you've seen. These are all important things in our life, and again, it's usually the first thing to get cut out of our programs, whether it's school or government programs. Here's Lin-Manuel Miranda on this topic. This is a recent interview from CBS Sunday Morning.
I was very lucky. I went to a public elementary school and high school where art and music were side by side with math and science, and those were the things that made me want to be good at school. I found who I was in the theater community, in elementary school, in junior high, and in high school. And I think it saved my life, and I think it pointed me in a direction. I think my grades were good because I wanted to be allowed to be in the school play every year. And I think the values you learn when you're involved in creative endeavors in school, they apply to the rest of your life.
Miranda goes on about the educational benefits of the arts in schools.
Study after study has shown that when arts are a part of your education, your overall education is richer. Test scores go up, reading literacy goes up, everything goes up. It does wonders. So it's about investing in our future and in our youth. It's not about funding art. Art will live and it'll die, and things will succeed and things will fail. But funding our future is important.
I think cutting art education funding is really going to hurt the disadvantaged youth more than anything. A lot of children don't have, maybe rides to rehearsal for community theaters, maybe regional theater. Parents have to work to make ends meet, so they might not have that ride to rehearsal or the means to be in a show like that. So I think school is really the only opportunity some children have to perform or to get that education, musical education, maybe whether it be choir, music, again, like drama, like we spoke about before. So I think it really hurts those disadvantaged youth more than anything. And like I said earlier, some feel that the creative arts allows people to think out of the box more, have a wider spectrum of thinking, problem-solving skills. So here's former lead singer of Talking Heads, David Byrne, on this subject.
In order to really succeed in whatever, math and the sciences and engineering like that, you have to be able to think outside of the box, and you have to be creative problem solving. And the way those disciplines are taught is not totally creative. The creative thinking is in the arts. A certain amount of arts education doesn't mean that your ambition is to grow up to be a painter, but you can use that kind of thinking and apply it to anything else. You succeed more and you bring more to the world because you have these abilities that came from outside of your discipline.
Forbes magazine had an article, points were made of the negative impact if the National Endowment for the Arts funding was cut out of our budget. The number one issue would be the arts contribute to economic growth, which is very true. Another one I found interesting on here was that the proposed cuts are a fraction of the federal budget, and it would actually account for 0.006 of the $3.9 trillion budget. So cutting the arts would really be a fraction of savings to our budget. So I'll leave you with this tonight. Think about the impact that defunding arts programs in schools would have on children. Not just disadvantaged children, but all children, and the importance of the arts in school for critical thinking, the fact that it creates self-esteem. A lot of children who might not be athletically inclined, this might be their only outlet to stay out of trouble, and it really helps to strengthen their interpersonal skills. As they grow into adulthood. There's absolutely no negative to having arts in schools, and to cut any of that would be an absolute tragedy. And with that, I'll leave you tonight, and I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to The Stage Door. Good night.